things are about to get spicy. Woo! Okay, so Jane Fonda says sex gets better for women as they get older. She told Andy Cohen that as women age, they lose their fear of telling their partner exactly what they want. Watch.
We waste way too much time not wanting to say, wait a minute, hold it. No. Slow down and a little to the left. You know, we don't. We don't want to do that. Oh my God, it might have, but when we get older, it's like, no, I know what I want. Give me what I want.
Ooh, all right. Do you agree with Jane, Tori?
For sure. Now, I know Jane Fonda brings up a lot of different emotions for a lot of people. Ignore the person and get to the message. A lot of women, and I know I might shock you out there, are not telling their partner what they actually want, and it's actually they're just not enjoying it and living through it. And I know y'all are nodding with me. I know it, and if you can be so specific, your partner can be more receptive and they like it, but it takes confidence in yourself to do it. But it is about 70 to 75% of women.
I have statistics.
Please do.
Okay, just so the men hear this, and our viewers.
I don't think that anything can be worse than living through it. To describe your sex life.
Okay, Albert, are you ready for this? Okay, so this is according to the book, The Female Orgasm.
Thank you.
75% of women cannot orgasm by intercourse alone. Okay, 80% of women fake an orgasm at least half of the time. 80% of women fake an orgasm half of the time. 75% of men climax every time, of course.
What's the percentage?
75%.
That's I would on 99. Yeah.
Says the man with the stash.
Yeah. That's shocking. To be perfectly honest.
Which part shocked you?
The 75% and 80.
Well, the 75%
The women
not orgasming.
Actually, all of the
intercourse.
statistics you read are pretty shocking to me.
So you were
Even
not
the men.
aware how many women cannot
80% fake it?
and 75% can't
Don't have an orgasm
during just intercourse alone.
Right.
It needs other stimulation for other things.
Yes.
Yeah, we really talked about that one.
Looking back to my college years, huh?
Oh, you both have definitely been with women that faked it. 1,000%.
But you know what?
Yeah.
Do you care?
Yeah, I do.
She does.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
She cares.
I do, just because
He doesn't.
Well, if someone's, listen, not with your wife, but I mean, if someone's just living through it.
But isn't that on
See you later.
Yes, shouldn't it be on you to know that now and understand? That's.
But if you're just having fun.
You're having fun. She might not be having fun.
But there's also if we aren't talking about someone that's not your regular partner, there are probably some barriers set up in terms of making sure the person's comfortable. There are things you're going to do with somebody you. Not just a one-night stand. Let's just leave it at that. But I will say this, and Jeff, let me say this really quickly. Tori and I were talking about Love on the Spectrum. I love that show. And the reason that I love it, it's people with autism, but obviously they're in relationships, and sometimes you'll see this couple, they're really cute. You're like, man, I want them to make it, and then they'll break up, and they'll just break up. They'll be like, this is not working for me. I don't want to be, we can just be friends. And the person's heartbroken for like a minute, and they move on.
Right.
And just being able to have adult conversations, sadly, are only in the autism community because we are all so full of nonsense.
Totally.
I said another word because our society makes Sam, don't say it, be polite. Jeff, if you don't like it, just walk away. If you don't want to hug your uncle, just hug him anyway.
Right.
And maybe when we're 4 or 5, somebody be like, I don't like that. Stop that.
That makes me uncomfortable.
Do that more.
Right.
And people don't do that. So now here we are at 80% of people that are having sex and they don't like it.
Well, we don't on the flip side, we don't talk about sex, period. You always say this country is so puritanical. That also leads into abuse because when you don't use certain biological terms, right? Like I teach my daughter vagina. I teach her Miles has a penis because if they don't have that language, that vernacular to communicate to mom that somebody touched me there, that can lead to more prevalence of sexual abuse.
I didn't even think of that.
There's both sides. Of course, there's the pleasure of it all. You need to be comfortable in your own skin. To Jane Fonda's point, ask for what you want so you both can climax. And then there's the flip side of just not even being able here in America to even communicate what certain body parts are. It's ridiculous.
Well, it's meant to. There are certain communities, I'm not going to say anything to get our show canceled, but there's a reason that certain communities that have a lot of young women running around, they don't really learn that kind of language because if people take advantage of them and they tell the police, they literally don't have the language to even
knowledge is power.
Yeah,
they are powerless.
So that is definitely a thing that's used in mass sexual assault situations. But just with your day-to-day, I don't know, and I think the bigger question is how do you unpack 30 27, 21 years of society being like, be polite, Sam. Could you even tell your spouse that like you don't like a dish that they love to cook? I wouldn't want to do that because I don't want to hurt them. So talking about something sexual would be 10 times harder for me.
But 80%, let's get back to the funny. I appreciate what everybody's saying.
Yes.
But 80%, whose fault is that? If you're faking it, I'm thinking, hey, I'm doing my good job.
That's like,
you know what I mean? I'm like, man, I got a mustache now, I'm doing a great job. No, but seriously, whose fault is that if 80% are saying, hey, you're doing a good job, but you're not communicating that I'm doing it wrong?
Totally.
Who's at fault?
And I hear it because you don't know. How would you know? You're not being told.
Right.
However, imagine the societal context in which a woman can't say anything because she wasn't told she could.
Or they can't be sexual.
Or they can't be sexual. If I was on a date with someone and I'm like, yeah, I really like it here, that might come off as like super, I say this, like slutty. And that's just me saying I like that.
Right.
A guy can do that, but society doesn't allow women to really open up that way.
I don't know. I think it's part. I see what you're saying, and I'm not a woman, so I don't know the exact thing. But
true.
I think if you're like married, you should be able to
Totally
communicate
different.
that, right?
Totally
But
different.
it's
Depends on
also if you go.
It does.
I've been with my wife
That's
13
true,
years.
Sam.
You know, if she's like, you know what, I got this donkey costume, and I want you to do some weird stuff
What
with
would
it.
you do?
I'd be like, dude, what?
You wouldn't say I'll do that for you?
You better get that costume.
What if she wants you to hold her tighter during a kiss?
But if something's
Just
weird,
that.
no, that's fine.
Yeah.
But what if it's super weird?
That's an aberration. That doesn't.
Do you know what I'm
always happen.
saying?
The more
Is
common-
anything really weird though?
Yes.
Is it?
What?
Do we want to pull up some statistics from adult
with
websites
Al.
and see what you guys are really looking
I'm
at
with Al on
after
that.
you
I'm
turn
with
off
Al. I'm with
DBL?
Al.
No way.
Stop
It gets
I'm with Al.
super
There is-
weird.
Trust me. Man, look,
There would be no limit if she's like, listen, I'm talking weird stuff that I can't say on TV. You'd be like, I'm down?
right.
Deviant?
No, not that. But
But deviance is only deviant to the person hearing
Who's
it,
judging
right?
it, right,
Yeah, it's
right,
subjective,
right.
depending who you're saying it to. Depends on the culture, the subculture. What's deviant to me may not be deviant to you, and
turn
vice
on
versa.
to you, yeah.
I majored in sociology of deviance.
I see. Really got that word in there a
Finally,
lot.
I got to put it in. Sorry.
She just kept saying
I'm just
deviant.
proud that I finally
It was
used my
good.
degree.
It was good.
Finally.
Bravo.
Just the word deviant.